Okay, hello, everyone. Welcome to day two of Advent of Code 2025. I can already see Robel and Nirma in the chat. That's really nice to see. Let me just reduce the volume a little bit because it's too much. Let me know if the background sound is doing okay. If you can hear me, everything should be okay. And then the moment I get like a green signal, we can start with day two. Well, we won't start with day two. We'll start with day two live stream, but we will recap on yesterday's problem. I just couldn't help it. Wait, let me just do a quick voice check. Okay, everything's good actually. Perfect. So, yeah, what I was saying is I could not help myself. And after I ate dinner, I was like, no, I cannot wait till tomorrow to go live and then look back at the problem. I'll just try a little bit and see if I can do the count correctly or not. And we were so close. My solution is very chaotic, but it works. And that's all that matters. So it was just like an extra 10 to 15 minutes I had to spend. And I was able to do part one and part two. Part two implementation was literally just one extra line of code, which is very cool. But part one is where I struggled. But I feel like the diagram helped a lot. So I'm gonna quickly show you all that, and then we can switch to code of the day, Wordle, and then get started with part day two of Advent of Code. And I am still a little hesitant on how it's gonna go, but we shall see. So let me quickly share my screen a little bit. Share screen. What screen do I want to share? I want to share the screen. Okay, you all should be able to see the screen. Let me put myself on the right side and show you. Yeah, so this is day one. See, I got my 2-star. Let me increase the font a little bit so that you all can see properly. This should be enough, hopefully. This is too big. This much should be okay. Okay. Oh, we have people in the chat. Okay, that's good. Thanks for letting me know that the volume and all of that is doing okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I have my 2 stars, and somebody from I don't know who joined my leaderboard as well. So if you want to join the leaderboard, this is the code. I can paste it in the chat if you want. Until yesterday, there was just me, but today there's somebody else. This one. I'm part of 2. Yeah. So some anonymous user has already finished day 2. Well done. I don't know who you are, but congratulations. So I have finished my day 1, and I'm going to quickly walk you through what I changed in my code to get it working. And then we shall do the whole structure. So hope you all are excited, and let's just get started. So yesterday, as far as I remember, all we did was, wait, where is the challenge here? It should be in day 1. I'm very curious to see what the image is going to be. It looks like a car on the left side, or maybe a house. And this looks like this looks like a penguin. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what this image is going to be on the left, but we'll only have to wait and find out until day 12. So day 1, we had not even solved part 1 by the end of the stream, and I had to go. But, the puzzle answer is 980, it says. But what did I have done? Yeah. So we had gotten the logic somewhat correct, even though I was a bit hesitant about whether my implementation is going to work if the dial is going to go multiple rounds, because I was just using an if statement, and that was not catering to multiple loops. I hadn't checked that. And I also did not implement the count. I had tried a quick implementation of count, but that was not working. So I needed a little bit of peace and quiet to myself to get it working. So let me switch to my code here, this one. This was all the comments. Yeah, so this is part 1 solution. Let me uncomment this for you all. Oops, not this part. Is this too... Let me remove this bit so that you all can see, and maybe also just resize. This should be a good text font size to work with. Okay, so all I changed was, instead of making an if statement, I turned it into a while loop, so that every time starter pointer is less than 0, it keeps doing the whole thing, because every time, like, we don't want to stop once. So I converted both my statements to a while loop. Now that I look at it, these lines of code are kind of repetitive. So if I was like actually coding properly, I would have turned it into a function. But we are not practicing good coding practices for this challenge. We're just trying to get the answer. So yeah, so one thing that I changed is turn my if statements into a while loop. And the count was an easy fix, where I just like had a count 0, and at the very end would always keep a track of when it becomes 0. So I would just add 1 to it. 3 lines of code changing and the solution works. So I was really happy. This was part 1. And then my actual answer was like 980 and 61. Whereas my part 2 solution, again, all I had to do is just like take this entire block of code. So let me just go through part 2 if you all have not read it, which says, you're sure that's the right password, but the door won't open. You knock, but nobody answers. Wait, is this the correct? Yeah. You build a snowman while you think. As you're rolling the snowballs for your snowman, you find another security document that must have fallen into the snow. Due to newer security protocols, please use password method, whatever this number is, until further notice. You remember from the training seminar that this method means you're actually supposed to count the number of times any click. So any click causes the dial to point at 0, regardless of whether it happens during a rotation or at the end of 1. So this was our clue. Instead of sort of subtracting the entire rotate number at one go, you would have to take it one by one rather than like a chunk of dialing. So yeah, it just would give you like a bunch of example on how to implement it, which was, again, it always starts at 50. Then the dial is rotated 68 to point at 82. During this rotation, it points at 0 once. So you would have to keep it, instead of like automatically subtracting 50 minus 68, you would have to subtract from 50, you would have to subtract, again, I confuse my left and right. 49, 48, 47, and it would go to 0. You would have to keep a count. And then again, like keep a count basically at every step. This is the clue that was given to me through this input. And then, yeah, so in code format, what that looked like was that I copy pasted my part 1 solution into this block of code, commented this out, obviously. And instead of, so you can see here, I was subtracting rotate number, but instead I subtracted 1 every time for L, and for R, I would add 1. But this entire thing, I kept it inside a for loop for my rotate number. That's all the changes I made. The rest of the code is pretty much the same, like a copy paste. So I lied. Actually, it's like 3 lines of code change, not 1 line. But this was the major change that happened. And yeah, my solution worked. This was my answer. The start point, like the final one remains the same, 61, 61. But it just counts a lot more times it crosses 0. So that was the solution. I'm so happy that I got my 2 stars for day 1. And yeah, now we can move on to actual day 2 stuff. What I do want to say is there are a bunch of Easter eggs that we should start, like keep an eye out for. I thought it'd be very simple and like an Easter egg would come on this link because it was like nice and clickable. But just like through my feed and stuff, I found out that actually the Easter egg lied in this password method. So if you hover over this, you can't see actually. Can you? Like there's like an entire block of text that shows up which says, I don't know if you can see, but I can read it. You should have seen this chaos when the elves overflowed their 32-bit password method counter. I think it's some like memory management joke that I don't fully understand. But yeah, this was like one Easter egg from day 1. And another Easter egg related to this is that it's actually, I didn't know this was like an ASCII code. But if you just like copy this, let's go to ASCII code to text converter. Which one should we use? The first one, maybe? And then like you can copy paste this. I think, and then would this work? I don't think this would. Yeah, so it was supposed to be click, but I think you have to like remove this, and these are the separate letters. Because I think 0x just means the space is not being allocated yet. So maybe it's like a 5-letter word. Hex. Is it? I don't know how to get this click, but yeah, people said that it meant click. So I just want to see for myself if it actually means click. No. I don't know how to get this done. Is hex for click? Yeah, that's what I was trying. If I just copy paste it here, would this come as click? What? I don't get it. Let's try this one. Okay, yeah, see 72. So we have these numbers. We want a hexadecimal. Let's just keep these separate. And it should come as click as far. Oh, yeah, see, click. There you go. I don't know why the other converter didn't work, but basically each value in this represents a letter, and then each value can then be converted to a letter in the English language. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, basically it means click, which is literally the algorithm that we had to like change. Instead of like rotating the whole number, we were tracking every click. So method click makes sense. So yeah, I was really excited and happy to find that out, that there are still like Easter eggs. Easter eggs are like one of the most favorite things I ever came across in this tech world. So we need to keep an eye out for day 2 Easter eggs, if there are any. If you've already found out, Rommel, have you solved day 2? Is it hard? Is it easier than day 1? Let me know. But yeah, we'll have to like keep an eye out for Easter eggs as well throughout our Advent of Code journey, just to keep things fun. So that's all. I don't know if I want to post my solution anywhere. After I solved it, I also went to ChatGPT to like verify whether my solution is okay or not. And ChatGPT was straight up gaslighting me. It was like telling me that, hey, you by luck found an answer that works specifically for this input, but if you actually run with other use cases, it won't work. And I was like, you're lying to me. I am very confident about my solution. So it gave me a test case, which it said that it won't work, because it gave like R3000 or something, because it wanted me to like go through the dial multiple times, and it was like, it's going to break. I ran the code, it worked, and then it apologized to me. So that was funny. But yeah, that was like a wholesome interaction. And then I also tried to like look at other people, how they solved it. And apparently you don't need any of this. You can just do like a mod 100 or use a DQ deck data structure. Everyone has like different ways of solving it. This is what came to my mind looking at my diagram. So, at the end of the day, be it math problems or coding problems, as long as your solution works and makes sense to you, especially if you're doing it alone, that's all that matters. So with that said, let's actually, one last thing before we actually move to day 2. Of course, I'll talk about TOEFL later. I switched to Excalibur. So day 1, I made this summary. I converted my Canva whiteboard into this day 1. I'm going to put like a Wordle of the day at the top, code of the day at the top. These are the people that joined yesterday. So thank you again. If you see your name here and you're again in the chat, thank you for visiting. Really appreciate it. I also tried to draw a Christmas tree. So I'm going to try drawing doodles at the end of every day that I come live. And yeah, this was basically how I solved my solution for day 1. So I already have the template for day 2 ready. And we are going to work with it and see what the problem is. But before that, let's go with our code of the day and then also solve Wordle, just to get like our brain working and then figure out what our actual problem for the day is. Also, one thing that I've realized is it's so easy to code when you're not live streaming or like live coding. Because at the back of my head, I'm just like, these people are going to judge my typing skills, my thought process, whereas all these different voices in my head are not there when I'm just coding on my own. So that's something that I've like realized is very different when you're like trying to solve a problem on your own in quiet, and also when you're like live. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm enjoying it. So as long as I'm enjoying the process, I'll continue doing it. But if I start hating it, I might just bid farewell. So, quote of the day. We are going to unravel quote 3 and 4 today. So, third quote of the day is, whoa, it's a long quote. It's more like a story. Code that communicates its purpose is very important. I often refactor just when I'm reading some code. That way, as I gain understanding about the program, I embed that understanding into the code for later, so I don't forget what I learned. Martin Fowler. I don't know who this guy is. Also, this is a stretch for a quote because it's a long sentence. But yeah, I guess it makes sense for like production code and code base that other people will read or you will come back to. But I don't think this applies to Advent of Code spirit at all. I'm just gonna ignore this piece of knowledge. Fourth quote of the day is, why are these so long? I like short, snappy quotes because like my TikTok brain is very does not have any attention span. Same guy, Martin Fowler again. If you have to spend effort looking at a fragment of code and figuring out what it's doing, then you should extract it into a function and name the function after the what. This I like. This is actually really helpful. Because once you figure out the logic for an algorithm and it's something that you use multiple times, just whack it inside a function and call the function. Like in our case, we could have just like easily whacked this bit of code inside a function and been like, calculates one click at a time or something along those lines, and then just like replace that with 4 lines of code so it's easier to read. That I understand, but I don't know how many functions I'll write in this Advent of Code. We're just in the brute force, most chaotic solution ever kind of journey. So these are the 2 quotes for the day. We'll go with the 5th one. This is so weird. 3, 4, and then suddenly a Roman numeral for 5. I don't know what's going on in this website. If somebody else has like a recommendation for a better quote of the day, you all couldn't even see, I think. Maybe I'll put myself on up there. Let's see. Here. Does that work? I don't know. I like staying at the bottom. So yeah. If you guys have a better recommendation for quote of the day, let me know. But till then, we'll just like stick to this website. Now let's switch to Wordle of the day. Let's play. Okay. You all can see. Let me just increase the size a little bit so it's easier. Okay. Should we just keep the custom and always start with coder? If there's a better like Advent of Code related word, let me know. But I'm going to stick with coder because yesterday I went with coder. Ta-da! Whoa, okay, the word starts with C. That's good. And it doesn't have O and E. Let's also test for like U, I, and A maybe so that we get the vowels out of the way. I don't know. U, I, A. Fruit? No, that's a bad. Actually, yeah, R would be repeated, but other 4 letters are, new. So let's just try fruit. Okay. So the word has CIT. There's actually a Chinese restaurant here and there's a road called CIT Road, and the Chinese restaurant is called CIT Chinese Cafe or something like that. It's really nice. But CIT is not the word. ICT. So it's definitely C. Either I sit something. It could be this, or it could be like something TI. Anyhow, let's just get all the other vowels out of the way. So A would be here. I'm thinking maybe like let's try other consonants. Any names? E wouldn't be there, but at least we'll get the A out of the way, and then we'll also see the S if it's like a plural form of the word. Yeah, I like names as our suggestion. Oh, so A and I are there. We already have CA. We know it's not going to be like I over here, so it's either going to be like this Or it can also be like T is over here. What is the word? P. Did we check key? P? No. Cabby. Or it could be like catty. I don't know. I don't know the word. It's definitely CA. And then we need another letter. But should the word end with an I or should the word end with... That's what I want to check. I want to check if the word ends with an I, just so that we get the placement correct. So if I try multi, at least we'll figure out if the placement of TI is proper. And then we just have like 1, 2, 3 words to guess. Not in the word list? Multi is definitely a word, no? It's not. Damn, okay. I don't know. CA. Let's not even think about CA because that's fixed. What other consonants do we want to work with? P, L, lap. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I want to try L just to see if it's there. L-A-P. L-A-P. Lappy. That's not a... I don't know. I don't know any words now. Suddenly I'm like blanking out. What should I try? Lashes. No. C-A. Multi. C. How about if it's like C-A and then it ends with C-A-I... P-T. Kate. I have a feeling the word whatever is this. Like something T-I. So, what word makes sense? Calty, capty, capty. Is capty a word? I don't think so. Yeah. Damn, bro, we're struggling with Wordle. I don't know how well we'll do for day 2 of Advent of Code. Let's just think of water. No, 2 of these won't be there. Washy? But how does this solve anything? No. Okay, what am I trying to solve? I'm trying to get as many consonants on my next try and also try for a TI word. Does anyone know any TI word, like a word that ends with TI? Sort? Why sort? Because like S-O-R, 3 of them are not in our words. So that would be a bit like... Oh, but then it would at least tell us if T is in the right place. That I agree with, but I feel like we're wasting 3 spaces, you know? I wonder if like someone's written an algorithm just to like figure out the best way to like... For every Wordle, there's an algorithm to do it in a most efficient way by guessing words after every turn. I hope that's not a puzzle for Advent of Code. That would be hectic to solve. Okay, the next word in the chat, I'll just put, no matter what, how bad the recommendation is, how good the recommendation is. So Amsh, you said sort, but we need to have like a 5-letter word. So suggest a 5-letter word and I will put it in my Wordle search. Until then, I'm also thinking. Hapty, capty, japty, lapty. Suddenly yesterday we tried teach, but that's already gotten out of the way. I just want to experiment with some words. Words. Oh, where did I type that? Word. Cacti. Okay, let's go with cacti. See, norm is again like a 4-letter word. I'm looking for a 5-letter word. But yeah, cacti seems like a good try because it helps with all of our assumptions. But that's so unfair, like a letter repeating twice. Let's try. Oh, cool oxyloop, thank you. I did not even know this word existed. So thank you for helping out. We got half the way there and we just needed a little bit help. Let's just see what cacti means. Is it something to do with cactuses? Oh, cacti. Why was I calling it cacti? Like a plural for cactuses, right? That's cacti. Oh my goodness. My brain is already short-circuiting. Of course I know cactus and the plural is cactus. Yeah. Let's just look at some cactus pictures to... Hey, that looks like a person like with a mouth and hands and a lot of pimples. Anyway, we're getting distracted. So, where were we? Yeah, so we did the Wordle. Yay, the word for today is cacti. I'll put the quote later on. Missing. And yeah, now let's actually jump to day 2 of Advent of Code. I'm scared. I don't know why I'm scared. Okay. Oh, and we need to make sure that we take breaks. Yesterday, I just got too into coding and then wasn't taking breaks. So every 30 minutes, I'll try to take a break. But let's read the puzzle for today. Gift shop. Okay, gift shop. You get inside. Can you all read it properly? Should I increase it? Maybe I'll increase it one more. Yeah. And again, if you've already found some Easter eggs within day 2, do let me know. Height. That should be good. Yeah. You get inside and take the elevator to its only other stop, the gift shop. Thank you for visiting the North Pole, gleefully exclaims a nearby sign. You aren't sure who is even allowed to visit the North Pole, but you know you can access the lobby through here. Okay. And from there, you can access the rest of the North Pole base. How exciting. As you make your way, but it's also almost like the airport style of layout, where before you even go to the terminal, you have to walk through the duty free just to look at all the different things that they have for sale, so that if something piques your eye, you get it. I think this is giving the similar vibe, where to enter the North Pole base, you have to go through the gift shop. Anyways, as you make your way through the surprisingly extensive selection, one of the clerks recognizes you and asks for your help, obviously. As it turns out, one of the younger elves was playing on a gift shop computer and managed to add a whole bunch of invalid product IDs to their gift shop database. We have to do something with IDs. Surely it would be no trouble for you to identify the invalid product IDs from them, right? Right? I hope so. They've even checked most of the product ID ranges already. Okay, some of the work has been done. They only have a few product ID ranges. Your puzzle input. Okay, so our product ID ranges will be the puzzle input that you'll need to check. For example, okay, there's 1122, then there's comma 95. Okay, what I can see is commas and dashes and a bunch of numbers. Good enough. The ID ranges are wrapped here for legibility. In your input, they appear on a single long line. That's good to know. But again, once we copy paste into our Python text file, we'll figure out how to get it to a working data structure. The ranges are separated by commas. Okay. Each range gives its first ID and last ID separated by a dash. Okay. So this would be the first ID, this would be the second ID, third ID, like that. And then dash is separating the first part of the ID and the second part of the ID. That's what I understood, but we'll just read through it. Since the young elf was just doing silly patterns, you can find the invalid IDs by looking for any ID which is made only of some sequence of digits repeated twice. Okay, so the example is 55, 5 repeats twice, 6464, 64 repeats twice, 123, 123, 123 repeats twice, would all be invalid IDs. Okay. Can an ID be of one number? I'm guessing not, because like it at least needs like a front part and a second part, so an ID can never be like one digit, I'm guessing. None of the numbers, wait, where did I think I read it till here. None of the numbers have leading zeros. Okay, that's good. Something to not worry about is always appreciated. So 0101 will never be the case, right? Isn't an ID at all. Okay, 101 is a valid ID that you would ignore. Yes, because like nowhere is the pattern repeating, because it's either 1, 1, 0, 1, yeah. Okay, but 1010 would be an invalid ID. 101 would be a valid ID. 0101 doesn't exist. Fair enough. Okay. Your job is to find all the invalid IDs that appear in the given ranges. Oh, I love examples because that's what clears out like what we're trying to do. So, in the above example, 1122 has two invalid IDs, 11 and 22. Okay, yeah, because 1 is repeating and 2 is repeating. That's fair. 95-115 has one invalid ID, 99. What? Where did the 9 come from? 95 and 115. This is confusing me. Did I not understand the problem correctly? What do you mean 99? It would not, wouldn't it be 11 because 11 is repeating rather than 99? Okay, let's go through like all the examples just to, like, this is confusing me. I don't know what we're like. I can't solve a problem without understanding what the problem is. And this has completely thrown me off. Because where did 99 come from? Huh? Okay. Anyways, third one is 9981012. Has one invalid ID, 1010. I would have thought it'd be 99 instead of. The thing is, I did look at the leaderboard just to check like how many people solved it. Not the leaderboard. Where do you find it? Is it the leaderboard? Or is it the stats? Yeah, stats. Like each star represents 2,785 people. So like that at least gives me surety that this is solvable and we have just not figured out the exact problem that we need to solve. So like the fault is in, not the fault, but we just have like some questions that need to be answered. So this gives us hope that, you know, there's no problem with the question. We just need to interpret it properly. But yeah, look at the amount of people that have solved day 1 and day 2. And not just this many people, but each star, like you need to multiply this with this number to get the total number of people that have solved this. Insane. And we are one of them, like at least I think even Robin, but yeah, at least we're one of these people. Whee! Let's go back to I got distracted, sorry. Let's figure out what it's asking us to do. 11885111 11888511. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Actually, this also doesn't make sense to me. Because isn't the repeating number 118511 this much? But it's missing an 8, isn't it? 11885511. Oh wait, no. Actually, it has a 5 in it. Huh. 2222. This. Okay, this one makes sense. 3 2s, right? 6 2s. No, wait. 1 2 3 4 5. 5 2s, but it's actually a 6 digit number. Here it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 or 8 that's repeating, and here it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. What is going on? And here I don't know. Here it's 9 9 and here it's 1 0 1 0. 9 9. It's I still didn't understand it. Robin says, okay, that's good. It's good to know that I'm not the only one that like is confused by this example. We have Vamsh, if I'm saying it correctly. In that range, I think like 95, 119 repeats 2 times as 9. So I think like that it's invalid. It starts and ends just it's a oh, okay, wait. I think I understand what you mean. I think it did say it's a range, right? Rather than like the ID itself. Wait, let's just read the problem again. I think that's going to solve a little bit of a confusion. They already product ID ranges that you will need to check. Okay, we even checked most of. So the ID ranges. Okay, I think in my mind automatically I was reading ID, but it has to do something with the ranges rather than the ID itself. So the ID itself is not 11-22, but the ID can range from 11 all the way to 22, maybe? Something like that? Or let's see. Range are separated by commas, okay? Each range gives its first ID and last ID. First ID and last ID. The ranges are separated by comma. Okay, this is one range to work with. This is the second range to work with. Third range to work with. And it gives the first ID and the last ID. Okay. So instead of like looking at it as 11, do we like, is it saying the first part of the ID can go all the way from 11 to 22, whereas the second part of the ID will end at 22? No, actually, like 11 till wherever, we don't know. And the second half is, we don't know from wherever it starts, but all the way till 22. Something like that. He is specifying the start and end. Oh, starting number, and it's a... Okay, thank you. How do you know? I'm so, like, thank you for being in the chat and, like, explaining that. But how did you just figure that out? Like, did you have to, like... Do you know the person personally who created these puzzles? Or this was just like you read the problem and you just knew this is how you're supposed to solve it? Or like did the examples help? But yeah, very cool. Okay, I still feel like there is some confusion in my mind still, but we'll try to like, at least I have more clarity. So let's go with the examples again to figure out what is going on. Okay, so now if I look at 1111, and 1111 is the starting range number and 22 is the last number. So the first half of the ID can go all the way from 11 to wherever. Can it? Yeah. So 11 can be a possibility, which is why it's part of the invalid ID. And 22 is at the end of the ID. So it can also be included in the first half, which is why both are included. Okay, maybe. Then we have 99. Okay, so again, now it at least makes sense how 99 just appeared out of nowhere, because it can start from 95. So it can go from 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. That's why 99 is taken into consideration. And that's the only number that's repeated. Because like 95, 95 is not a repeating number. 96 is not a repeating number. 99 is a repeating number. Hey, no, actually, I don't understand this. Because like 95 all the way to 100, let's say. So am I overthinking this? So 95 to 100, like 95 to 115 will include 100. And if 115 is the ending number, then 100 should also be included in this, because 100, 100, maybe. 99 makes sense right now for me, but then why only 99? Okay, let me see what Ansh is saying. I was seeing the bunch of examples. Okay, see, it's like range. Just see it that way, you will get it. An ID will be invalid when a number has 2 digits same Like 99 and 2. Oh, only 2 digits. That's why 100 is not counted. Is that the reason? Oh, yeah. But here 1, 2, 3 is repeated twice. Oh, but like 100 has... Can you explain in this range why 100 is not valid? Or like why 100 is valid? Why is 100 not listed in the second example? I'm trying to figure that out. Because if it's a range from 95 to 115, if we consider the number 100 as the pattern, 100 will be repeating as like 100, 100, right? I don't know. There's so many questions. I have more questions about the question than the answer. Purajit is basically giving us the answer of how to solve it, but I don't want to solve it without even understanding what I'm solving. That's why I'm just, not a number to be completely invalid. It needs both digits to repeat. Twice 100, okay. 0, 2 digits, but 1 did. I don't understand what this means. Not to a number to be completely invalid. It needs both digits to repeat itself. Oh, okay. Because like in 100, only 1 is repeating, whereas 1, 2, 3, 1 is repeating twice, 2 is repeating twice, 3 is repeating twice. Whereas in 100, only 0 is repeating twice. 0, 0 is repeating twice, but 1 is not repeating twice. Am I correct? Is that what you meant? Purajit, if you can explain in the second example, I just want to figure out in this range why 100 is not... How is 100 not invalid? Or like even 101? Oh, yeah, because like 101, again, 1 is repeating twice, but 0 is repeating once. That's why it's not invalid. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, a number here is 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times. So it's invalid in this case. Oh. 100, 1 only once, 0 to... Okay, this, yeah, I think this is what we both were talking, but like using this different languages. So in 1, 2, 3, 1 repeats twice, 2 repeats twice, 3 repeats twice, whereas in 100, 1 repeats only once, whereas 0, 0 repeats twice. That's why it's valid. Okay, fair. And then again, 101, 0 is repeating only once, so it's not calculated. 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 11. What about 111? Oh, yeah, what about 111? In this range 95 to 115, 111 is included, and 1 repeats twice, 1 repeats twice, and 1 repeats twice. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll draw it out. Let's draw things out, okay? So right now we're working with the range 95 to 115. Where is it? 95 to 115 is the range. And what? Why did it get deleted? 95 to 115, right? If we consider 99 makes sense because 9 is repeated. Can you all see, or I should increase the thing? Okay, we're working with 95, which is part of the 95 to 115 range, and 9 repeats twice, so it's invalid. Then if we look at 100, we get 1 repeats 1 time and 0 repeats twice and 0 repeats twice. That's why it's valid. Because 0, 0 can't be like a number that we consider. 0 repeats twice. Let's just say 9 into 2x. 9 into 2, 1 into 1, 0 into 2. 0 into 2. So it's valid. Same thing for like 101, 102, all of that makes sense. What about 111? Because in 111, 1 repeats twice, then again 1 repeats twice, and 1 repeats twice. So this should be invalid. Okay, 111 is equal to 111. That is not one sequence of digits repeated twice. Oh, okay, this actually makes kind of sense, but I have to like read it again. In 111, 11, 11, that is not one sequence of digits. No. Oh. Whereas you're saying 1, 2, 3, we have 1, 2, 3 as the repeating digit. Like, are we considering 1, 2, 3 as a whole, or are we trying to break down the entire number into separate digits and then see if it repeats twice? It's gonna be invalid. Okay, 111 would be invalid. 111. So to like, let's say if the range was, instead of 115, if the range was 125, okay, and then we were considering 123. So would we say 1, 2, 3, let's look at the individual numbers and they both are repeating twice? Or are we looking at like 1 is repeating, or maybe they both are the same thing? Maybe I'm like looking at it, yeah, like 2 is repeating twice, 3 is repeating twice. Because I feel like if we try to implement this in code, I would either have to check for the entire number and see if it's repeating twice in the sequence, or I have to like go for a for range, like a for loop, and check for individual and check if they're repeating. But I feel like that's not the case, because then this would have become true. I wish I could have talked and said it's hard to explain. Yeah, that's true. Like, writing things on chat, like with limited words, is way harder than like just drawing and like using like verbal communication. But I think you helped a lot though, because at first I was just like, where is 99 coming from? But now I at least know this is a range rather than like numbers. And also, I'm starting to understand. Let's just go through. Let's not get hung up on 95 to 115. I think, okay, 115, at least if I just don't consider 111, which was like an edge case that made me confused. Let's look at the other numbers. 111, 112, let's 112. 2 is not repeating twice, 113, 114, and then that ends. So 99 becomes the only invalid case and rest are valid. Fine. Let's look at, okay, I think I have to like take a tutorial on how to use Excalibur. Okay, this is like a different range. So now let's say we are working with range 999 to 1012, okay. 998, again, 9988 is not repeated twice, so we can't consider it. If it was 9988, then it would have been considered, I think. 999, again, with the 111 logic, we can ignore it. Then we have 1000, which again, because like 1 is not being repeated twice, we can't use it. 1001 should be valid, no? I mean, like, should be considered, so it's invalid, maybe. 1002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What about 1010? Should be invalid, I think. I'm not looking at the output, but I'm just like, if I was the algorithm and trying to figure out the things on my own, I just want to know which ones I would consider, and then I'll like get clarification. And then we have 1111 that can be ignored, and then 11. Okay, so 100 and 1010. Is that correct? Oh, okay, we got 1010. Okay, we're somewhere. Like, we can kind of figure out, but there's still like some gaps in our knowledge. So 1001 cannot be considered because why? Oh, everyone's saying nope, nope, no. For a number to be completely invalid, the digits should repeat exactly twice, not thrice, like you raised exemption for. But what about 1001? 1 is being repeated twice and 0 is repeating twice. But it's not considered invalid over here in this range. That's what's confusing me. Palindrome, yeah. So 1001 would also be a palindrome, but it's not. This one's valid apparently. Oh, the digit order matters. Okay, yeah, that's true. That is what you're. Okay. Okay, that's good. This is a great conversation. Thank you so much for helping out. So we have like certain assumptions cleared out. Bro, let me just type. Why can't I type? Huh? If I want to type here, why does it go there? Am I not able to use like a... Okay. So, criteria, I guess. Criterias. Number has to repeat twice. So 111 is not counted. The, what would you call it? The pattern needs to be, I think I'm just writing words that make sense to me, even though this would be equally confusing as like the way I read the problem. The pattern needs to repeat. So, which is why 1001 doesn't have repeated, is not counted. Okay. What else? This much I understood. Now I kind of understand why things are being counted and why things are not being counted. Okay, let's look at like other examples again. Oh, this is not a big range to work with, just the number is a little scary. Okay, let's look at the 4. I'm quite appreciative of like whoever, like I forget the name, but I'm really happy that like he's put in the effort to give us these examples, without which, like, if there were no examples, let's say, and we just had like this much information, we would all implemented it like so many different ways and justify it. But this actually helps a lot with figuring out what the hell is going on. Okay, let's look at, so we figured out range, this one, we figured out, what the heck? Oh, this is attached to this, that's why it was creating a problem. Okay, fine. How do I lock this? Let's just remove, let's just remove that for now, because that's what's creating problems. Okay, so we looked at range 95, makes sense. Range 98, these are individual words. Ugh. Okay, we looked at range 98 and 102. Now let's look at range. I think once we figure out, like we go with 2 more ranges, then I'll start to think of the pattern that we actually need to implement in code, and then we can implement it. Okay, so now we are looking at the range, that one. Okay, so 11885118 till here it's common, and then we're just checking for like 81, 82, 83, 84, something like that. Okay, I think so. Somehow when we are given the first ID and the second ID, we'll have to figure out, we need to split it in a way where like the repeating numbers are just like taken out, and then the remaining digits, we'll just have to figure out what the repeating pattern is. So even though this is like a scary looking number, when I actually try to implement it as like a human rather than a code, I'll just ignore this, because this range actually turns into a range of 80 to 89. right? Oh, sorry, 80 to 90. 80 to 90. And within 80 to 90, which ones are repeating? Let's say 81 is not repeating, 82 is not repeating, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is repeating, and 89. Yeah. So then the only invalid one becomes this added plus this. So 11885, 11888. Is that correct? Oh, no. I thought I figured it out, but I was wrong. Oh, no, I'm doing the same thing. Because, like, I'm again doing what 111 was, and here it's 888. That's wrong. Eight zero is not counted. That's fine. 81 would be 11885, 11881. Which is not considered. Oh, is it like 11885, 11888? Oh, okay. It's not just 1188. Sorry, my bad. I have to like look at the whole thing. So not just the fact that this is the range, but also 11885, 11885 becomes the repeating sequence in both the ranges, right? That's why it's 11885, because this is the repeating pattern. Whoa, how do you implement this in code? But now I kind of, because they've given 11885, now I understand why that's the case. But I'm also just like, I don't know how I figured that out without looking at the answer. Like figuring out the answer with looking at the answer is not that. I feel like there's still gap in my knowledge. But now that I looked at the answer, this makes sense. No other number makes sense in this range. Oh, okay. That's why you were saying like you have to divide the first range itself by 2. Right? Because that's what I did. Like I looked at the entire number and looked at where the number is starting to divide and then see if it's repeating. Like if the first half of this same as the second half. But also put that in a range so that it's like I'm considering numbers from this number till all the way up till here. Okay, I'm starting to think of a pattern where like you need a lower, like a range to work with, which is given to you. But then within the range, the first number itself, you have to sort of like see where the pattern is repeating and then check if that pattern is within that range. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Maybe. But I'm a little, like my head still hurts a little bit to think how I'd implement this in code. Okay, fine. So this at least, okay, kind of made sense and kind of gave us the pattern needs to repeat. I need to keep reminding myself. The pattern needs to repeat, which is such a silly thing to write, but I think it makes sense to me. It's like important for me to write that. And number has to repeat twice. But in this case, did it repeat twice? Yeah, 5 repeated. No, did 5 repeat twice? Or the number itself, like the whole number itself repeated twice. Okay, wait. So 95. Oh, yeah. Because in 95, I'm not even considering 111, right? Because it's starting from 95, so I only need to like consider numbers starting from 95. That's why 111 doesn't make sense. And then, yeah, so if like 95, let's say, I have to look at 9. And then it's part of the lower bound of this upper bound. Weird sentence to say. That's why it was only 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. And then 99 was the one that was invalid. Okay. Fine. Let's look at one more example to see if we understood. So 222220. Okay, this is where my 111 might get answered. So this is the range that we are working with. Where is this range? Okay, this is the range that we're working with. So far what we're trying to do is we are looking at this entire number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and okay, in this range we only have 4 numbers to consider, which is 222220, 2001, not 01, 1, 2222, 2222223, and 4. But in this entire number itself, like if you look at 2224, this is repeating, this is repeating, 24 is not repeating. I think I understand, but I'm okay. Instead of like overthinking, I feel like I'm just gonna try implementing this in Python and see if I understand it properly. And then like I'm gonna like work my way backwards. So instead of like trying to be the algorithm and like understand why 2224 is not working, what I'm gonna do is I know that the only invalid ID here is 222222, or like this or this. And working with these inputs, I'm just gonna like write an algorithm that justifies only outputting these invalid IDs. I missed some chat because I was like too involved at looking at the range. So we have Magnus Olufsen. Don't bother about the 5. The whole half of the number is the important part. The number needs to consist of 2 identical parts glued together in the middle. Yeah, I think that actually makes sense. Like not only do I have to consider the repeating part, which is 2, but the whole number itself on both ranges. And then sort of like if here it's 222220, I sort of divide it here. So wait, this becomes here 222220. I have to like, because it's like a 6-digit number, I separate it here. And then I have to sort of look at it like 222, 221 doesn't repeat, 222, 223, it's not repeating, 222, 22. Oh, I conveniently skipped on the one that is repeating, my bad. Yeah, so this is the only one repeating, and then the last one is 4. So out of all these numbers, which is in this range, this is the only one repeating. Cool. Okay, that's fascinating. Okay. Yeah, because I like the spacing thing. It's helping me visualize what we need to do. Because again, in this case, we have one. So instead of like looking at 80 to 90, what we have is 11885, 11880. And then again, we have like 11885, 11880. So this is where we break. And then again, the numbers to consider would be 1185, 1185, 11881, 11885, 11882. I'm running out of space to write my thoughts. And then again, 11885, 11883. So far, nothing has been repeated. 1184, 11884. And then finally, we have 11885 and 11885. And a similar pattern, but this is the only one repeating. I think that makes sense. I think this comment really helped, the gluing bit. think that was cool. Thank you for explaining that. I think every time the number will be in even, like we divide, we get 2 halves. That's true. And if it's like let's say instead of maybe there's an example where it's an uneven number, then we can consider more possibilities, I think. Let's see. What did you say? I think every time the number will be in even, like if we divide, we get 2 equal halves of both same size. Correct. And the only one repeating exactly to, okay. I think you guys are like finally happy that I'm able to understand what we're supposed to figure out. Cool. Oh, so like now I can go back to all the ranges and actually figure out what's going on. So like instead of again here in the 95 range, instead of even looking at 95 as a number, I need to look at it as 9 and 5, right? And then look at it as like 9 and 6, 9 and 7, so on. And that's why it's 9 and 9. Dude, that's so cool. Okay, cool. And I think this also helped. This thinking of the number itself as a string rather than the number. Because, yeah, if that's why you guys said look at the idea as words rather than numbers. Okay, all your comments is suddenly clicking in my head. Thank you. My notes are a little bit like all over the place, but very cool. Thank you so much for the help. I am gonna just like write down your names because I want to remember you all forever. So I'll now go to Python and try to implement what's going on. But yeah, thank you so much for like helping out. So I'm gonna start with Magnus. Hopefully in like the advent of code, I don't know. I don't want to suffer from success that I have so many people join in that I won't be able to write their names. But at least the people that are like commenting and helping out, I will acknowledge you guys. So Vamsh. Then we also had Snow. Snow as in like winter snow, or like it's short for your name. Who else is there? Purajit, you were also very helpful. Purajit Gupta. 6390. Is this just like a random number or it's part of your ID 6390? We can use this as a test case. Okay, look, 6390. So if you look at 6390 and then the range could be, let's try doing this. Okay, so let's say we have 6390 and the range is till 6395. No, none of them would repeat actually. 6370. So then we'll have to look at it as like 6390 and then 63. No, this range itself is not correct. 92, let's say. Yeah, 60. Oh, that's just 2 numbers. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, let's go 400. Okay, 6400. So then we have 6390, 91, 6392, all the way to like 93, 94, but none of them would be repeating, right? Yeah, okay. So this would be a valid number then. Yeah, your username is valid, Purajit. Yes, no, okay. Snow, but in like a different name. Cool. Purajit, who else did I miss? Hey, there was Joydeep Mohanto. I am not teaching anything. More so I'm learning more than teaching. But I'm pretty much doing this challenge called Advent of Code. I'll share the link in the chat if you guys want. If you're still here, not Purajit, sorry. Joydeep. Hey, your name has joy in it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, basically I'm doing this 12-day Advent of Code challenge where each day you get a coding challenge, not even coding, but just like a puzzle solving problem. And you have to choose your favorite program language to like code it and then get the answer. Yeah, so not teaching anything, but just doing this Advent of Code challenge. Did I miss anybody else's name? If you're still watching and you don't, I think this is the bot clearly. So I'm just going to ignore this bot. Who else was there? I know Robble was there early on, so I definitely want to like put his name and Nirmay. I just need to like quickly scroll through the Robble was there from yesterday, so I'm just gonna copy paste that name. And then I'm gonna take a break actually because I've been streaming for an hour, and then we'll come back to implement it in Python. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys so much for helping out. Otherwise, I would have just like struggled. And Nirma was also there. Hopefully, I'm not forgetting everyone. Anyone that commented and was in the chat. But yeah, cool. Just before going for a break, I'll just look at one more ID and just see if I really figure it out, and then I'll try to implement it in code. So this one, 1698522. So this would be broken. Okay, I just want to do it in Excalibur because it's way better. Haven't coded Python in ages. Oh, so which programming language are you using to solve it? I'm guessing you're doing Advent of Code, or you're just like doing it as like a human rather than a program. You're using English language to solve it. Okay, so this is the range that we have. Let's figure out if we understood what is going on, okay? So first thing we have to do is not look at it as a number. I'm not playing just randomly. Oh, cool. That's cool. And again, like, nice of you to like figure out what even is going on without even coding it. Okay, here 1698522. Nothing is repeating, because again, if we just look at this entire number as a whole, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And even if we try to break it, at least, okay, so one thing that we have to do is, if this was like a 6-digit number, then we would have separated it here. But if it's a 7-digit number, we don't even know where to separate it, first of all. Unless the upper bound range is massive. But even then, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah. So here, we don't even have anywhere to like separate it, nor is it like repeating. So then it's valid. Okay. Now I want like an invalid case, because that's where like my solution will, like my understanding will actually come through. So we have this range now. Okay. This is the lower range, this is the upper range. And again, here we have a 6-digit number. So we break it into 446, 443. And then we go all the way to 449 and see what's repeating. So we have 446, 444, 446, 445, 446, 446. Perfect. And then the rest is 789. So 4446 is the only one. Yeah, okay. Nice. Oh, see, then it's not that hard to implement, I think. Okay, this is quite cool. I like it. Oh, and then we have to add up all the invalid IDs. No. Python can handle that. Adding would be not that hard, but I have to figure out what exactly I have to add. The ID itself, or like the repeating digits. Adding up all the invalid IDs in this example. So it's the whole ID. Okay. Yeah, fine. That should be easy. Because we once we get 446, we just need to take the 446 and convert it into an int and then add all of those together. I'll just put all the invalid IDs in a list and then go through the list and add them. That shouldn't be a problem at all. We just have to figure out the invalid IDs. Cool. That was 1 hour, 15 minutes of just like trying to understand the problem. Cool. Yeah. So let's take a break and then I'll come back and hopefully code this, and part 2, I might do it tomorrow, honestly, depending on how difficult it is. Just before I go on a break again, this stream is sponsored by my leather gifting company that I've started with my dad. It's called Tofa. This is the website. I'll share it in the chat. I've started with like a product that is supposed to be the perfect wallet for your dad, because if you go to the website, enter the password, Perfect Dad Wallet and unlock. This is the only product that we are selling at the moment. It gives you like a list of things that it does. And I've like spent a lot of time designing the wallet. It has 14 card slots, 2 full cash cleanse sleeves, a coin pouch, a transparent ID window, and like the wallet is right here next to me. Why am I like rambling without even showing? So I really like this quick access wallet because like you don't even have to open the wallet and you can already have like an important ID at the back. That's something that I wanted. 2 cash slot, coin pouch. And the coin pouch itself has like a hidden slot inside it for SIM cards and stuff in case you're traveling. And I've also like put a lot of effort into the gifting side of things. So it's gonna come like nicely tied and stuff. So you can gift it to your dad or like any person that you think has dad vibes. I don't know what that means. But yeah, basically this is a wallet that I'm like partnered with my dad to launch. And if you're interested, for launch offer, it's free worldwide shipping. Hopefully that I don't know how much profit I'm gonna make, but yeah, at least I want people to like actually use the wallet and see if it's nice and they like it. So yeah, the stream is sponsored by that. But enough of that. Right now we'll come back to Python after a short break. Good work, good luck on the implementation. You'll get there, and kudos for doing this live. It's a good inspiration source for others. Thank you so much. This is so kind. And yeah, thank you again for like staying in the chat and like helping me figure out what I actually need to implement. Because I feel like if I started implementing things the way I interpreted the code, I would get nowhere. So it's kind of nice to be able to like understand the problem with you guys. And thank you for wishing me luck for the actual implementation. I'm more confident about the implementation. Should I say this and then like regret saying this? Because yesterday, confidently on live, I was saying 98 minus 88 is 82 or something along those like horrible. Because my mind was thinking of like multiple ways of like trying to solve the problem. So like a basic 10 number difference, like a subtraction itself was something that I couldn't do. But yeah, thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll go on a break now and come back and solve the problem. See you in a bit. Okay, I am back. So I just went again. I wanted like blood flowing and get some like time away from the screen. And now we are gonna solve the problem in PyCharm. hopefully I'm giving myself another like half an hour to finish as much as I can. And then again, I feel like I'm going to claim that I'm going to... Wait, somebody's calling again. Whenever I talk about the wallet, my dad just randomly calls. But I just want to finish this problem and then I'll speak to him. So let's get switching to PyCharm. This was day 1. I will increase the code. But yeah, today is day 2. You know what? I'm just going to solve it as day 2 because I thought I would solve part 1 and part 2 in separate files. And then I got too involved in it and I just like did it everything in one file. So that doesn't matter. Day 2. Exciting. So we have the Python file created and we haven't even looked at the input. We spent so much time figuring out what the problem is even asking us to do that we were too engrossed in that. But we'll also create like a day 2 input file. Okay. Let's increase the size in that. Let's hide this so you all have like more space to look at it. And let's go and fetch the day 2 input, which is here. Okay. I'm just going to do this manually, like copy paste it. Yeah. I know some people have like fancy. Yeah. So this is what it was talking about, where like the whole thing is going to be in one line. That is not a problem. We'll let Python solve all of that. And we might copy some of the bits from day 1, which is like just taking the stuff from the file, which was here, up here, these 3 lines of code. But instead of like per row, it might be like splitting it into commas and dashes. Okay. So day 2, what exactly is it asking us to do? Let's write the comment. Why is it not big enough? Should be okay. Yeah, so we have the input. We also just need to like copy paste what the actual problem out of this entire story is. Also, any Easter code that you all found on day 2, let me know. I might like go hunting around in Reddit or like other places once I complete my day 2 challenge. Until then, I don't want to look at like things. But yeah, if you guys found any Easter eggs within the day 2 challenge, let me know. Elves was playing. Yep. This is what we need. Right, range. Okay, this one. I think all of this is worth copy pasting and then figuring out the relevant information from. Oh my god. A whole bunch of IDs. A whole bunch of invalid product IDs to their gift shop database. Surely it would be no trouble. This is extra fluff. We've even checked most of the product IDs. They only have a few to work with. This is also not relevant. This is, yeah. The ID ranges appear on a single line. Okay. And then what else? The ranges are separated by comma. That's good to know. Each range gives its first ID and last ID. Now this makes so much sense. Separated by a dash. Since the young elf was doing silly patterns, find the invalid ID by looking for an ID which is made only of some sequence of digits. Sequence of digits repeated twice. This one, all of this, we have figured it out, so we're just going to remove that. None of the numbers have leading 0. Isn't an ID at all. Okay, so that's all. And then what do we actually have to find? My nose is running a little bit, so let me just blow my nose. These were all the examples. We will definitely like use this as a sample, but we'll just like figure out if our logic is correct going through one range at a time, and then we can whack everything in a for loop, and then we have to add up. Yeah, and then we have to adding up all the invalid ID, add up all the invalid IDs to get the answer. Okay, so this is all we have to solve. Perfect. Before we can do anything, we need to actually get the data structure to work with, like the range itself to work with. So again, keeping with the same sort of structure, we're gonna, is a list gonna be a good idea to put everything in? Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Because like if you already have a list, then you can go through each index of a list, and the list itself, the item is gonna be everything that's like separated by a comma. So the dash itself will be part of the first item of a list. I'll explain what that means, but let's just create an empty list first, which is called input. Wait, my grandma's. Okay, I will talk to my dad and be back. Okay, done. Called my dad for like a quick business meeting about the wallets. I told him once I finish figuring out my advent of code, I'll call him properly. But let's get started. I mean, we've already started. So input, and then I'll also copy paste from here, which is my with open file. But instead of day 1 part 2 input, we'll have day 2 input. Yep, as file. For row in file, input append row. This is not relevant anymore because now we have the whole file itself, right? So instead of this, let's just try to print the file. I think our entire content lies there. Print file. Oh, where is it? Huh? No input. Oh, date. My bad. Run. File.read actually. Yeah, so we have all the contents. Let's store it in a variable and then try to split it and then append that into the input list. Let's call this, should I call it input list? Yeah, whatever. We can call it whatever. It doesn't really matter. So we have the entire file.read. Let's whack this into a variable, contents. Okay. And then the contents itself, we have to split. Content split. We are splitting everywhere there is a comma. So we do that. That will be our individual ones. Split, and then we can append all of this into input. That should work, right? Input. Oh, whoops. Input. Bro, I cannot type for the life of me. Dot append. this thing. Let's see if that works. Print input. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, this already creates a list actually. So we don't really need an append. We just need input is equal to, because it's created, like you can see there's like 2 square brackets, right? So that's just like a list inside a list, which is unnecessary. We can just do that. Input is equal to that contents, and then let's try to print the input. Yeah, so this is what we wanted. Wait, why can I not scroll? Yeah, we wanted one list, and each list is then like would a dictionary be better with like a lower bound and an upper bound? I don't know. I'm not thinking too much about the data structure at the moment. I'm just going with the flow. But at some point, we also have to like split it into, it could be like a list within a list actually, so that we have like a lower range and an upper range. Yeah. So now that we have the input, what if we split it one more time? Maybe. Okay. Then we have, we can get out of the file currently. Input is the, input is equal to input dot split, and then we have the dash. Oh, because we can't do that because it's like a sorry, we need to put this in a for loop. For item in input input line, input string. These are bad names. Input string, and then I hate the way I'm naming things. Input is equal to input split. This we have it, and now we have to go through each item. So let me show that again. So what we need to do is go through, where is it? This is unnecessary. Yeah, we have to go through each item, and within that item again split it where a dash is. That's what I'm trying to do. So if I just go through the items, for item in input, we can create another like list, data set, data ranges, that could be a good name, which is another list. And this would basically have data ranges dot append item dot split, and then it'll be a dash instead. So now if we try to print the data range out, we should get what we want, hopefully. Yeah, see, now instead of the dashes, we have these individual numbers within a list. So it's a list within a list, and each item within that list has 2 items, one which is the lower bound, one which is the upper bound. I am tempted to also convert it into an int, but we can do that later on also. It doesn't matter too much. So we have the data now that we can work with. We're going to follow the same technique that we did yesterday. Instead of whacking everything in a for loop and hoping for the best that it works and our implementation is correct, we are only going to work with the first item and see if our logic is implemented properly. Once our logic is implemented properly, then we can just like make a for loop and make the whole thing work. Hey, we have a new person enter called a Casual Waffle. I like your name. Hi, Casual Waffle. I'm guessing you like waffles and you're very casual about it. I don't think I've had waffles ever in my life. Shocker. But yeah, good name and good. Is that it? Almost like your profile picture almost looks like Pikachu, but maybe it's another character. Not too sure. Oh, you are a waffle, of course. That makes way more sense actually. Thank you for clarifying. So we oh, it's Raichu. Okay, yeah. Cool. A Raichu waffle. No, Raichu was way too cute to be like turned into a waffle. But let's get back to solving this problem. So we have the data set that we want to work with. Now, let's just say test case. Look, it is just the first item, okay, which is index 0. I just want to print and see if I'm getting whatever I want. Test case. And I'm also going to remove all the unnecessary. Yeah. So this is what we are working with. We are working with 4077 5314. Actually, not even this. Because like, what if I want to work with one of the data ranges that are given to us in the coding problem, like 11 and 22. And once we figure that out, we'll go step by step. So right now we have something like this available to us because we've done all the sanitization. And now we need to actually figure out what to do. Okay. So the first thing to do is, I think we need to have a for loop range so that it checks whether whatever we are like checking for is within 11 and 22. That's the first thing. Does this work? Can I just convert an entire list into an int? How would this work? Let's just print test case to see what is the output. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. That's fine. Let's just convert it here itself. And then whenever we want a string, we can convert it back. Okay. So now if I print data ranges, this is such a scuffed way of doing things, but I'm okay with that. Must be a string. Oh, this is the item itself, not a list. Okay, let's convert it somewhere else. I don't want to that's unnecessary to figure out at the moment. Or should I figure it out? I think it's better to figure it out actually. Okay, fine. Item or like A is equal to item.split print A. Let's remove that. Let's remove all of this. The item itself is split, and then we have to go through it again. Is there an easy way? I'm just going to Google like a quick way. Convert all items in list into int. There has to be like, oh, Python. Python. We have to do a for loop. Is that the only way? Oh, something like this. This, I don't think I would have ever written it on my own. Oh, like you're doing this, but you're just converting the item itself into an int. That actually makes sense. Fine. Fine. Or you can also use a map. No. A map always confuses me. So we have the item here. Wait, let's just copy paste what we have. This we're doing for item in input, for item in my list, which is this part. And then item. Let's just write it on our own. I don't want to figure out what we need to do. I don't think I can call myself a Python developer even after this chaotic brain fog. So we have items for items in dataset, because it's a set within a set, a list within a list. I think that's just like complicating things a little bit extra. For items in list, that's the list. No, we can do it here. Can we? once we have appended it for I in, no, let's do it outside, like a separate group. Let's do it as for item in data ranges. No, oh yeah, for I in, this would be the item, and then we have to go through individual items within it, right? So for data range in data ranges row, we have to again go to the item in data range. I'm sure there's like a better way to do this, but I'm just converting it. We have item is equal to int of item. I think that should make sense. But then we're not really changing it. So we need to use the index. Oh, no, here. For I in range, length of data set, because we need the index, so it's just easier to do it this way. For item in data range I, data range is I, sorry. Then we can take the item itself and append it. Okay, let's see. Data ranges, let's just print item because it has to be the individual values. That's what I'm predicting. It is the individual, and let's just change the input to something way small because we don't have to be worried about all the different things all at once. Where is it? Day 2 input. Yeah, let's just comment this. Let's just have 11, 22 working for us right now. So if we print this, we have 11 and 22 come up. So we will not only convert it into an int, but also we have to use the data ranges item. No, this also needs to be a range. Yikes. Okay, yeah. Item j in range length of data set. Do we put an extra j in range? Length data that. This will always be 2, to be honest. What did we do? Print j. Print. Bro, this is so wacky. I don't like this. But this is how my brain is working at the moment. So I'm just gonna like continue doing whatever I think. Yeah, we still get 11 too. We just like use range instead of the item itself. I should rename these live streams as like coding in the most un-Pythonic way as possible. This code is crazy for doing something so simple. Anyway, okay. So now that we have the individual item, we can now convert it into an int. And then actually use the data ranges list and then allocate it in the right position. So this will become data ranges I, j. Yeah. Okay. So this should convert it into an int. We don't need these extra brackets. And now if we try to print, this should work, right? Let's see. Print data ranges. Unindent does not match any indentation level. Bro, that's such a weird problem to have. Yeah, okay, 11, 22, and if we try to use type, it should come back as an int. Okay, that's good. And not only that, but if we try to now print the test case, oh, let's uncomment this. Yeah, the string values are gone, like the quotations are gone. So we did what we had to, but in like the most scuffed way possible, which is fine. It works, so it works. I know you all have like been suggesting using like way better, more efficient ways of doing it, but I think under the hood, this is the logic that's kind of used, so it's fine. We can run with it. Let's just have some fun with coding. I'm a newbie. That's great. That's fine. Everyone's a beginner. What's one of my favorite quotes of all times is every expert was once a beginner. So it doesn't matter what level of coding you are in. If this is confusing you, if it's like annoying you, stop watching. Go watch something like more fun. But the best part about coding is doing it yourself rather than watching somebody else code. I don't know if I think that about sports and video games actually, because people like maybe if you're like really into playing video games, watching somebody else play video games would be not that fun. But sometimes watching other people code helps. So yeah, stick around if this is helpful. Otherwise, thanks for letting us know that you're a beginner. We all were beginners. I still think I'm a beginner. But yeah, even as a beginner, I would suggest you try Advent of Code, just to like get your brain working and like figuring out different problems in December. I don't know what this comment means. Demand for cloud. What? I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna ignore that. But yeah, thanks again. Thanks for commenting still. I'm not a beginner, but I do not use Python a lot. Which language do you use usually? Yeah. So now that we have the thing that we have to work with, let's actually implement this part. So we implemented this one. We try to figure out all the ID ranges from a single line, because if I change it up now, it's going to work magically. Should we test that out? Okay, let's test that out. Let's have two files. Why am I like copy pasting multiple times? Let's have like a day2 real input. That's a great name. Real input. And the day2 real input will be from here. Let's copy this, put it over here. So we have the day2 and then the day2 real input. And this is day1, which we don't even need. And we don't need this one as well. Okay. Day2 real input. And I'll just copy paste it twice so that I have to like just uncomment it rather than keep commenting it, commenting out. Okay. So we are working with the real input right now. And I think it should still work. And even if we don't do if we try to print the data ranges, it should still come out with all the numbers separate up. Perfect. This data is sanitized according to my liking at the moment. So that's good. It was worth spending so much time doing this because now I have the data that I want to work with and now I can convert it the way I want. So let's go back to our day2 input, which is just like one range to work with, which is this one, 11, 22. And we are expecting both 11 and 22 as the invalid inputs. Yeah, but the logic should be the same. Like let's have a lower bound. Okay. Now what I'm thinking is, now that we have this date range to work with, we need to have a lower bound, which will be equal to the first item of the list, 0, and then an upper bound, which is this one, which is going to be the second item of the list. Okay, so in our case, lower bound becomes 11 and upper bound becomes 22. And then if we try to use a for loop, so for I in range, lower bound, it'll start from a lower bound and go till the upper bound. I think that should be the right approach. Why are these yellow squiggly lines coming up? Is this just because like I haven't used them yet? Expected type str. Oh, That's not fair. Let's just print the type of lower bound and upper bound, just to be sure we're not like messing up with the data structure. Okay, it should be an int. Yeah, it is an int. Okay, clearly something is up with these error messages, but we double checked it's an int, so it's fine. So now that we have a lower bound and upper bound, what we need to do is we need to take the lower bound and sort of like split it into two. But first of all, just check if it's an even number. Because if it's an odd number, in any of the examples, was there like an odd number that worked out for us? Okay, yeah, it actually doesn't matter if it's an even or an odd number. Because here, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Because we still have to take the first, like the lower input, divided by 2, and then check if there's a repeating pattern for the first half to the second half, right? Okay, no, let's just solve for 11 and 22 first. Let's just work with numbers that we can do, and then we'll modify our algorithm as required. So with 11 and 22, we have 11 to work with. So we need to split the pattern. How do we name this? Pattern checker, or like number pattern to check. Pattern to check is basically string of lower bound which is 1 1, and then split it into half. But how do we do that? I don't know how to do. Like if there was like a word called ABCD, how do I then make it into ABCD? We take the length and then separate it out. How would I do this if I was a computer? We would, yeah, technically we would take the length. It's like 4. I'm just like pseudo code writing here. So the length is 4. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. And then at the second position, we will split. So if this would be like string dot split, and then we would have length by 2, I think. I think this is what we have to like code. I think, okay? Don't quote me on this. So let's try doing that logic in and see if it works. So we have pattern to check will actually become string of lower bound dot split. Is there like a split at index? That's what I want to check. Okay, let me see. Python split at index. Splitting a string at an index, that's exactly what I want. Oh, yeah, that works. We want 0 all the way to like the splitted index. What was it again? Oh, we don't need split, we just need this. We don't have a split index. Well, let's make that. Split index is basically length of lower bound, str lower bound. Yeah, this. And now if we try to print the split index and we try to print the pattern to check, we should get, here we should get 1, because like length of 11, which is 2, is 2 divided by 2 is, wait, no, sorry, we did only half of it. My bad. Divided by 2. So this is what we're doing over here, which is 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then here we're actually just like doing this, is it called string slicing or like whatever the fancy term is, 0 to 1, which will be 1. Okay, let's run this. Slice indices must be integers or none. Slice indices should be wait. I think I'm trying to do too many things at once. Wait. Length print split index. Okay. Let's comment all of this out. Whoa. Oh, maybe we don't even need this in the for loop. Yeah. Why do we need this in the for loop? We can just have the lower bound. Oh, we do need, no. We're just solving for the first item, right? Yeah, we don't really need this in the for loop. And then if I try to divide it by 2, why is it not working? Oh, it is working. What? But at least we figured out that we don't really need this in the... Oh, it's 1.0 rather than... Oh, okay, got it. We have to convert it into an int. Okay. So it's a decimal. Okay. Now let's try it out. But I still don't think we have to put it in our for loop, though it doesn't really matter. Okay, 1. But which one is the pattern? Which one's the... Let's change this to like something else. Let's change it to 95 and 115. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So 9 is where it's getting split. That's good. Yeah, sorry. First half and second half. This, I think, needs to be outside the loop. But let's, because it's just unnecessarily doing the same thing again and again. Second half will become str of lower bound. And instead of here, it's going to start there and go till the end. And this is going to be first half. And this is going to be second half. Okay, let's see if this works. So we have 9, 5. Perfect. Yeah, but again, it's just doing the same thing again and again and again. So let's just put this outside the loop. Oh, but we don't have access to lower bound. But lower bound will always be like, yeah. Okay, wait. Let me reevaluate what I'm doing because it's a bit chaotic. Oh my god, it's 9 o'clock. I don't want to give up right now because I'm like so close, but actually I'm not close at all. But also I'm just like thinking and like overthinking. Okay, so lower bound. Yeah, lower bound will always be... Oh, we already have lower bound. What am I talking about? Yeah, bro. What? I already have lower bound, which is always going to be the first index. What we're going to do is whack this whole thing in a for loop later on. But this should work at the moment. Yeah. 9, 5. Let's try with a larger number and see if it's splitting properly. So let's say 998 and 1012. It should split again. Let's see. So what is it splitting at? What was it again? 998. Yeah. So it's splitting it at 1 because 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1 with 1 remainder. So is that how I want it to be? Or does it need to be like... Yeah, so I haven't even accounted for like uneven numbers. Like, do I still want it to be 1 or do I want it to be 2? That's something that I haven't figured out yet. But for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will work perfectly for our use case at the moment because it's an even number. And if I run this, yeah, see, it's splitting it at 1185. And then we'll have to like check if it's repeating. So right now my thing, at least this one, works for even numbers. I just haven't even had the time to think about what to do in an uneven number scenario. Let's look at this example. So in an uneven example, technically I don't want it to be, it'll be like this one, split index plus 1, to be honest. But for uneven, we don't need to unfinished. What is that? What do you mean unfinished? Please explain. But for uneven, we don't need to check for our required conditions, right? You're finished, damn, bro. Obviously, you're great. Which language did you do it again? Python. I'm sure. Like, I'm doing it in the most slow, pathetic way possible. So I had to relearn. You, at the span of like me writing this many lines of code, not only did you relearn an entire programming language, but finished coding the challenge. Well done. Uneven numbers will need to be invalid. They can't consist of exactly 2 repeats. No, but in this case, where it's like an uneven number, we still have an invalid case. Oh, but then this itself is an even number. You're right. I can just ignore the ones. But I think the way I'm implementing it, it would still matter. Because here, when I'm like doing it in person, instead of like looking at 9, I need to look at 99. No, am I looking at sometimes not good to like become a human computer. Okay, let's look at this one. Is there any other? Okay, in this case, it will be, what will it be? Now I feel like I can use the 1698522. So this will just like return false, like it wouldn't pattern match. So maybe we can ignore. Maybe you are right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you like solved the problem. So yeah, maybe you can ignore this. Let's now, what we should do, you know what? I am getting tired of this. So should I solve this in my own time and then come back and explain it? Because I do need to wrap up. I have a meeting in like half an hour. Let's whack this in a for loop. Once check for upper bound. No, I'm not giving up. I definitely need to finish this. It's just that I've been streaming for like the last 2 hours. So I will do it. I just don't know if I need to do it tomorrow or like in my own time. Okay, fine. Let's just do how much ever we can at the moment, and then we'll, like figure it out else. Yeah. So what I was saying is, now that we have this, we can just, we have the first half, the second half, and the split index. We still need this. All of this we're getting, so we can just comment this out. Then lower bound, upper bound. We have the first half and the second half. Now what we have to do is, I like this example. Let's just work with this example and get it to work, and then we will call it a day. Okay. Yeah. So with this, we have what? Let's just run this so it's easier for me to like visualize. We don't really need the split index at the moment, but when we have a for I in range, lower bound, upper bound, we don't really need this actually. We would rather need for item in where is our data ranges? Yeah. This has everything. For item in data ranges, we will then calculate lower bound, upper bound, and all of this. This will go inside the for loop, right? So then lower bound becomes, oh, that's why we needed item I in range. Ugh. I delete stuff before I realize. Okay, length of data range. That's fine. And this we can replace it with I. and this we can also replace it with I. So for each value we get lower bound, upper bound, and we also get these values. So the value that we are concerned with is the first half. So let's try to print the first half of our real input and see if we've like gotten everything correctly. Where is it? Where is it? This one. Okay, run. Okay, so our real input, maybe it's too tiny for you all to see, but 40. So our real input, the first one, is 4077. So we need to consider 40, which is good. In this case, we have 5274. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So we have to consider 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it? And the fifth position. 4274. Yeah. 527. I don't really work well with bigger numbers, but here it's telling us that this is an uneven number that we haven't accounted for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's splitting at 5274 here at the moment. It's splitting it like this. This one, oh, sorry, it ends over here. Yeah. This is also an uneven number and splitting it at 7. This one is splitting it as 24, which is good, because then we can check 24 with 24, then 2487, 2489, all of that. Okay, so I think our split function works properly. 652, and then we'll have this one to work with. 69. Okay, this one will be here. There's so many uneven to work with. That's what I'm like a little unsure of. 7, 2, yeah, all the even numbers work perfectly for like comparing. Okay. They'll never be in. Okay, yeah. You have been saying that all the uneven numbers will sort of like take care of. But just because like I can't figure out how is this going to just take care of it, that's why I'm just like, what is this witchcraft, which I don't like. Like every time I write a line of code, I want to understand it completely. But okay, let's just focus on the even numbers. But like we were able to split the stuff according to our plan in our for loop. So that's good. So let's go back to working with just one data case, which is where is my code? Okay, this is where my real solution is. The real solution with the for loop and everything. Whereas this is my test solution. Test practice place. Okay. Next, should we call it a day here? We'll do 5 more minutes and then we'll call it a day. You can't glue together a sequence 2 times and get a string of uneven length, because then the sequence would have to. That's true. Yeah, because even if it's like a length of, let's say 5 numbers, if you're splitting it at the set. No, the only thing I'm unsure of when it's an uneven number is if I'm calculating the place that I need to split is correct or not. So let's say over here we have 709, right? So I'm just unsure whether in my split index function, do I have to split for an uneven number at 70 or at 7? Because right now the way I've implemented it, it will split at 7 rather than 70. But I feel like looking at the outer range, I need to split it at 70 rather than 7. Does that make sense? Because see, right now it's splitting at 7, which is not helpful. because the next number that I want to check is 71 rather than 8. Does not matter. You will compare the two uneven halves and the won't match is not invalid. Okay, fine. Okay. What's the next step? So we have the split first half and the second half split. And now we need to go through the upper bound and the lower bound. So we need another for loop basically to check from the first half all the way till the second half, I think. A number with an uneven number of digits can never be repeating, so check this before doing anything else. That's a useful tip actually. So like when I'm implementing the real solution, just to skip out on some of the checks, I can just like check if the length is uneven and be like, continue, right? Is that what you mean? Okay, so now that we have our first half and our second half, we need to start going through a for loop again. So we have for, again, I don't know if I want to use a range or a item. Let's go with item. So no, a range. Yeah, for I in range. Did we already do this? Lower bound and upper bound? No, we did I in range for data set to get the lower bound and upper bound. Fine, that's fine. And now that we have a lower bound and upper bound, we will start from the lower bound and go all the way till the upper bound, right? And then check the first half. If, again, we have to convert it actually. If int of first half, wait. Let's write this up and then we'll do it. Okay, I'm using this as an example, okay? So far we have split index. Wait. Yeah. Where is this random thing? Okay. Yeah, here. Bro. Oh, we're not printing things. Okay. We have split index is 5. So here we will have 5 and then we have the lower half. Okay, let me just comment this out. Comment. Nah, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to say this was 5. This was 1185 first half. And this was 1180, to be honest. Okay. So we want to compare first half with the second half, right? If we don't really even need int, we just have to compare if first half is equal to second half. For I in range lower bound, upper bound. And then maybe do like a while lower bound is less than upper bound. So we are checking, we might not even need this, the for loop, or we might. While lower, yeah, we might actually not need. While lower bound is less than upper bound, so we are taking into consideration this value and this value. If first half is equal to second half, then it's invalid. Then I think it's going to be like a invalid count plus is equal to 1. Else we will have first half, which is this 1185. We'll have to like redo this whole thing. The next number to check would be 1186, right? No, we'll have to change the second half actually. No, because it could either be the first half or the second half, to be honest. so it doesn't really matter. But at least in this case, we have to check the second half. I don't like this. I don't like how I implemented it. I'm kind of in a rush. My meeting isn't fun. Okay, no. Let's just end this right now, and we will do this a little bit later. Yeah, we'll do this tomorrow, or like I'll do it in my free time and then show it to you guys. Sorry if this was like you were expecting me to like finish the program at the moment. That's not going to happen with these live streams. The best I can do is like read the problem and try to like understand it to the full capacity. I think bring myself in the middle while I talk to you guys, and then like program as much as possible. But if my time is up and I'm not able to solve it, it is what it is, you know. Making a lot of mistakes. Yeah, exactly. I think that as well. So it's like I need a calmer mind to work through this problem. But again, I cannot thank you guys enough as to like how much you helped with like me figuring out the problem itself. Because I feel like if I was doing this alone, not in live stream, I would have just given up, because like the ranges did not make sense to me in my mind. But going through each range on my own and like dividing stuff really did help. And now I feel like because I know how to solve it, I just need to convert it into code, which should not be a problem. So yeah, stay tuned for my solution. I might post it on YouTube. If you enjoying the stream for some reason, please do subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. So yeah, like the stream, subscribe. We'll end it with like some coding memes, and then tomorrow I might come back live if I don't have things going on in my life. But I am committed to solving all the problems in Advent of Code. Luckily, there's only 12 days of Advent of Code this year, so we have double the time to finish all of that. Okay, so let's look at some memes, and then also include your names in the Excali draw. Hey, we have a new person called Lio the Parrot. Welcome to the stream. I am covering the meme. My screen has gone completely out of whack. Okay, this is the meme that we finished with yesterday. So let's just scroll down to see what's there. This was posted 12 minutes ago. The only jobs left in future: venture capitalist, vibe coding, the future of programming, data labeler, and meme coin trader. These visuals are funny. But also, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this always happens no matter which part of history you look at. Whenever there's like a revolutionary tech that enters our society, there's like one set of people that are extremely like repellent towards it and like resist it, be it mobile phones, AI, or like, I don't know, electricity. And some people like jump on it and try to make use cases out of it. There's always like pros and cons to literally everything in this world. That's what I believe in. But it's very interesting how AI is taking over the world, but also there's like this how it's affecting the tech world specifically, with like people that are making fun of it. Some people are embracing it fully. Other people are like in the fence about it, but like frustrated that you have to like learn an entire an entire skill set. And other people are just like, we'll see what happens. Another meme, HTML. Oh, bro, HTML is a programming language. What incites programmers to violence? This is funny. I know there's like threads upon threads where people dedicate their entire life to proving HTML is not a programming language, which shouldn't be that serious. Like, you know, it's just a proper noun at the end of the day. Depending on the, like, more than the term. I think this is true for like a lot of cases where one person is taught the meaning for a term, let's say programming language, and another person is just taught programming language is a way for computers to follow instructions. So by that meaning, HTML is a programming language. But if you then consider like Turing complete and all of that, then maybe HTML is not a programming language. So it depends more on the meaning than the term. But funny how people get riled up when HTML is talked about in the programming scene. Okay, 2 memes are enough for today. I am going to what vibe coder can only vibe if he knows how to fix code in the vibe code is wrong somehow. I missed yesterday's. We'll watch that stream. Oh, yesterday also, like, spoiler alert, I was able to like figure out what to do and all of that. But towards the end, I had like a masseuse come in for like my back is hurting, so I had to go. I am rambling now. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Yeah, hopefully see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed the stream, like it again. Wait, before that, let me include all the names that I did not include. This is day 2, right? Yeah, and I also like post a doodle with Christmas themed and stuff later on when I have time. But right now I gotta go. So before I forget, you have a lot of S in your name. BAMSSH. Hey, SSH key. And then 2H. Okay. Who else did I forget? Lio the oh, sorry. Let me remove this. Lio the parrot. You've been on the screen for way too long. Lio the parrot. Are you an actual parrot? I mean, do you have a parrot called Lio? Lio, whatever. Lilo and Stitch, Lio, Leo. Snow, I already mentioned. Magnus Olofsson. Sorry if I'm like butchering your name. Hey, isn't there like a chess player called Magnus? I don't know his full name. SSON. Okay. Anybody else that I missed out on? If you're still watching and your name is not on the screen and you want it, please do message something on the chat in like next 5 seconds. Oh, I forgot the casual waffle. Casual waffle. Cool, look at that. Like yesterday there was only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and today there's like more than 8. That's a little intimidating. I don't like people watching me code. I do not like that. But here I am live, so I can't complain. But yeah, thank you again for sticking around. I had a lot of fun, regardless of all the stress that I was, how stressful it was to like showcase what my brain looks like when I'm trying to solve a problem. I might come back live tomorrow, but yeah. Thank you for sticking around. Take care. And yeah, I'm gonna go now. All the best for day 3 if you all are solving that. And if you've already solved day 2, congratulations. We might get there soon. Bye. Oh, 07 is like silly. Yeah. Bye. Take care. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon.